stay upstairs. I gotta go.
We're through. It's over. Don't want you. Bye-bye.
I heard a rumor, which I think could be true, which is that Living Single was a jumping off point for another huge sitcom on NBC, right?
Yes, Friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why did the popular show Living Single suddenly go off the air? Many fans love the show for its funny and relatable characters, but something happened behind the scenes that led to its end.
I was on that. It was so much fun working with everyone. We did something that wasn't on TV.
Exactly.
And it was so much fun. And yeah, like a bunch of kids found it during COVID. And then after that, now it's on HBO, you know what I mean? And what are we doing on HBO?
Was it just low ratings, or was there a bigger reason? One infamous scene seemed to play a big role in its downfall. What was so shocking about this scene that it contributed to the show's cancellation? Let's dive into what happened and why Living Single disappeared from our screen so suddenly.
Eggplant.
Living Single came out in 1993, and it was one of the few shows back then that focused on the lives of young Black professionals. It paved the way for later hits like The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and The Big Bang Theory. If you were a TV fan in the 90s, there's almost no chance you missed it. I mean, people still love to watch old sitcoms, and Living Single is one of the best. Shows from back then had a different magic that we don't always see today. Plus, they weren't just great in their time, they've stayed relevant for years. Many popular shows, including Friends, took inspiration from Living Single without giving it the credit it deserved.
I was on that. It was so much fun working with everyone. We did something that wasn't on TV.
Exactly.
And it was so much fun. And yeah, like a bunch of kids found it during COVID. And then after that, now it's on HBO, you know what I mean? And what are we doing on HBO?
The show brought a fresh and real look at Black characters on television. Unlike many shows that often focused on the struggles Black people faced, Living Single showed something different. It focused on real, everyday lives with characters who were fun, relatable, and successful. They weren't defined by the usual TV stereotypes. Instead, the characters were true to life, showing the world that Black people can be strong, successful, and still have fun.
So do you rent or own?
I'm renovating a townhouse.
Where'd you go to school?
The Cordon Bleu in France.
The cast knew how important this was. Erika Alexander, who played Max, once said in an interview that representation matters. She explained how people who watched the show, including politicians and lawyers, saw themselves in the characters. Living Single gave them hope and showed what was possible. The cast, made up of stars like Queen Latifah, Kim Coles, Erika Alexander, T.C. Carson, John Henton, and Kim Fields, portrayed a close-knit group of friends living in Brooklyn. Khadijah, Sinclair, Maxine, Kyle, Overton, and Regine were working professionals dealing with the highs and lows of life. But getting that famous wasn't easy. The show was special because it broke the mold. Kim Coles, who played Sinclair, once shared her thoughts on the show's impact in an interview with Entertainment Tonight. She said, "We had a brother who was wearing his hair in locks working on Wall Street, and a woman who was starting her own magazine. It was really powerful, and I think it still stands today." This shows just how important Living Single was in representing Black people in a way that felt real and inspiring.
Oh, we all look good tonight. Yes!
She's a brick.
The show also wasn't just about serious topics. It was light, funny, and full of wacky moments that made it fun to watch. The characters found themselves in crazy situations like escorting a princess or trying to break a big news story before anyone else could. These plots kept the audience entertained week after week, and the mix of humor and heart is what made the show so popular. Even now, almost 30 years later, Living Single still gets attention. Clips from the show often trend on social media. Recently, the final scene of the show's last episode went viral on TikTok, getting millions of views. People noticed that the character Khadijah said a line that wasn't in the script. Fans loved it.
Just letting it all hang out.
Many people still wonder if the popular show Friends was really original, or if it took ideas from Living Single. After the hit TV show came out in 1993, a year later, Friends appeared with a similar idea but with an all-white cast. This has sparked debates over whether Friends was a ripoff of Living Single. In fact, Friends creators have even admitted to knowing about Living Single when they pitched their show. Queen Latifah, a star of Living Single, pointed out in interviews that Friends got a bigger budget, more attention, and more episodes, even though her show had a very similar setup. This raises questions about whether race played a role in how these shows were treated.
I gotta agree with my little Maya Angelou here. Come on, girl, you can't quit.
This is not the first time Hollywood has done this. There have been other instances where ideas created by Black artists were reused by white creators and given more success. For example, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air had a spin-off idea, but instead, Friends got made. There are stories like this all over the entertainment industry, where Black creativity is copied or taken without giving credit. The discussion about Friends and Living Single is important because it brings attention to how Black stories are sometimes overlooked, while similar white stories are celebrated. Even though Friends became a global phenomenon, many feel it's important to recognize Living Single for being one of the first shows to tell the story of friends living together in a big city. People who love Friends might not realize that another show paved the way for that style of storytelling. It's important to give credit where it's due and remember that the entertainment world has a history of borrowing ideas without always acknowledging their original sources, especially when it comes to Black creators. Nevertheless, things got a little rocky on the show, and there's one specific moment that stands out when the show lost its steam.
It's part of my heritage. It is a statement of pride.
In May 1997, Fox, the network behind Living Single, announced it was going to order 13 episodes for the 5th season. Fans were excited because it meant more time with Khadijah, Max, Sinclair, and Overton. But something strange happened. Instead of airing the new season right away, the network delayed it. At first, they said it would air in January 1998, but a few months later, Fox decided to move things around again. They canceled a new comedy called Rewind and announced that Living Single would return on September 11, 1997. When season 5 finally came out, it didn't have the same energy as before. Some fans felt the show wasn't as funny and the storylines weren't as strong. Even though people were still watching, the show felt different. Behind the scenes, there was some drama with the network. The actors weren't being paid as much as they thought they deserved, and Fox didn't seem to promote the show as much as they used to. Some say that Fox put more attention on Friends, a similar show that came out after Living Single. The final episode of the 5th season aired on January 1st, 1998, and it left fans with a lot of questions. Was the show canceled? Would there be more episodes? Unfortunately, that was the last time new episodes of Living Single aired. The show ended without a big send-off, which disappointed many fans. They felt like the show didn't get the respect it deserved. Now let's change gears and talk about the cast of the show and their lives now. First up is Queen Latifah played Khadijah James.
This magazine has become my whole life. Not much time for anything else.
A successful magazine publisher alongside her quirky group of friends. But behind the laughs, Latifah carried a personal and heartbreaking symbol around her neck, a key that held deep sentimental value. The key necklace was a tribute to her older brother, Lance Owens Jr., who tragically passed away in a motorcycle accident in 1992. This was not just any key, it was the key to the bike Queen Latifah had gifted to her brother before the accident. He was her close confidant, and his death left a profound impact on her. She was only 22 years old when she lost him, and the key became a way for her to keep his memory close. Wearing it during her time on Living Single was her silent tribute to him, a small way of carrying his spirit with her as she stepped into the spotlight. Latifah was already a household name in the music world by the time she joined Living Single, thanks to her successful rap career. She released her first album when she was just 19, and by 23, she had not only made a mark in the music industry, but was now a television star.
Just another day around the way. Feeling good today.
However, while things were bright on the screen, her personal life was filled with pain. Lance's death was a wound that never fully healed. In interviews, she has shared how much her brother meant to her, calling him one of the closest people in her life. The key necklace was more than just a piece of jewelry. It was a daily reminder of her love for him. Tragedy didn't end with her brother's death. In 1995, Queen Latifah and her then-boyfriend, Sean Moon, were involved in a carjacking incident where Sean was shot. Thankfully, he survived, but the trauma of that event stayed with her for years. This, along with the loss of her brother, shaped her into the resilient woman the world knows today. After Living Single, she pursued acting more seriously, landing major roles in films like Set It Off in 1996. Over the years, she took on diverse roles in films like Bringing Down the House, Taxi, and Hairspray. Her ability to move seamlessly between music, television, and film earned her respect in Hollywood. But Queen Latifah didn't stop there. She also made a name for herself as a talk show host. From 1999 to 2001, she hosted The Queen Latifah Show, a program that followed in the footsteps of Oprah Winfrey's success. Latifah's talents have earned her numerous awards. She's been nominated for an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress, won a Grammy, an Emmy, a Golden Globe, and has a collection of NAACP Image Awards. Her influence on artists like Lauryn Hill, Megan Thee Stallion, and Keke Palmer is undeniable. With a net worth of $70 million, she has achieved extraordinary success across multiple fields. In her personal life, Queen Latifah has always been private. For years, people speculated about her relationships, with rumors swirling about her. However, she never felt the need to confirm or deny anything. It wasn't until 2021, during the BET Awards, that Latifah publicly acknowledged her relationship with Ebony Nichols, as well as revealing that they have a son together. It was a touching moment as she expressed her love for her family and embraced her truth on her own terms. Now, at 53 years old, Queen Latifah continues to stay busy with acting, music, and advocacy. Moving on to now.
Oh God, he's here! It's Michael, he's here!
Did you know that Kim Coles was never the first choice for the role of Sinclair on Living Single? It's true, the role was originally meant for someone else. Simone Jackson, also known as Monique, and best known as Queen Latifah's best friend. However, when Monique declined the role, it opened the door for Kim Coles, and she absolutely nailed it. Kim Coles played the hilarious and lovable Sinclair, the receptionist at Khadijah's magazine company in the show. Sinclair's character was always full of joy, a bit clumsy, and known for her quirky charm. Who can forget the time she kept repeating the word eggplant to practice her acting skills?
If you remove all language except for one word, it forces you to use that one word to express all emotion.
Kim Coles brought this character to life in a way that was both funny and heartwarming. Before landing the role of Sinclair, Kim Coles had been working on another popular TV show, In Living Color. She spent 2 years on that show before leaving to join Living Single. At the time, she was 31 years old, and this new role helped push her career forward in a big way. Living Single became a hit, and Sinclair quickly became one of the most loved characters on the show. Kim Coles' ability to bring comedy to the screen was one of the reasons the show was so successful. She made people laugh with her innocence and over-the-top behavior, and her chemistry with the rest of the cast was undeniable. After Living Single, Kim Coles continued to work in television. She appeared on shows like 6 Feet Under, My Wife and Kids, and had a recurring role on The Gina Davis Show as Judy Owens. She also hosted a game show on BET called Pay It Off and was part of a comedy series on TBS called 10 Items or Less. Kim has kept busy over the years, making guest appearances on various TV shows. Some of her work has even earned her nominations for major awards, proving she's still a force in the entertainment industry. Outside of acting, Kim Coles is also a published author. Her book, I'm Free, But It Will Cost You, came out in 1998 and shares her experiences in life and showbiz. Her career as an actress and author has earned her a net worth of around $3 million. When it comes to her personal life, Kim has been married twice. Her first marriage was to Aton Edwards, and they were together from 1985 to 1995. Later, she married Reggie McIver, a former SWAT officer, in 2015. Sadly, they split up in 2019. Even though her marriages didn't last, Kim has kept a positive attitude and remains a beloved star.
So Khadijah's in a bind. Doesn't anyone care about me?
One thing is clear, Living Single wouldn't have been the same without Kim Coles as Sinclair. Her character brought so much joy and laughter to the show. But Sinclair wasn't the only standout character. Maxine, another favorite on the show, was also a big hit. Maxine, played by Erika Alexander, was a tough lawyer who added a lot of energy to the group's dynamic. She might have been a high-powered attorney, but she didn't bring order to their crazy, funny group. Instead, she added even more chaos and laughs. Erika Alexander is an actress many people remember for her role as Pam Tucker on The Cosby Show. This part helped her become famous in the 1990s. After her time on The Cosby Show, she continued to shine in the world of acting and became a household name. But her work goes far beyond sitcoms, and she's had a busy and meaningful career ever since. In 1990, around the same time she played Cousin Pam, Erika starred alongside Whoopi Goldberg in the movie The Long Walk Home. This was an important movie that talked about the civil rights movement, and it helped show Erika's range as an actress. However, one of Erika's most famous roles came a few years later. She played Maxine Shaw on the hit show Living Single, which was a popular sitcom that ran for 5 years. People loved Maxine for her smart, tough, and funny personality. This role made Erika even more well-known and cemented her place as a strong presence in TV history.
Anything you have to say to me, you can say in front of my girls.
Fine, will you have dinner with me tonight?
Yes!
After Living Single, Erika kept working in television. She made guest appearances on well-loved shows like Grey's Anatomy and Queen Sugar. She also had a recurring role as Tess Shoemaker in the sci-fi drama Beyond, which aired on Freeform. But one of her most significant roles in recent years was in the Oscar-nominated film Get Out, 2017. Erika's role in this powerful movie added another layer to her acting skills and showed she could tackle serious topics. Erika also joined the cast of Season 2 of Bosch, a crime drama on Amazon Prime. Her ability to play different types of characters has kept her career going strong for many years. But Erika isn't just about acting. She's also using her platform to talk about important issues. One of her most notable projects outside of acting is her podcast, Finding Tamika. This podcast shines a light on the rising number of missing young African-American girls. Erika believes these girls aren't getting enough attention or help from the police, and she's using her voice to raise awareness. Through her podcast, she's telling the stories of the families who feel left behind, and she's pushing for more action to be taken. Next is Terrence T.C. Carson Terrence.
But I will say it was refreshing being with someone who wasn't afraid to tell me that she enjoyed my company.
T.C. Carson became famous for playing Kyle Barker on the show. He was the charming and successful character that many fans loved. Before Living Single, Carson had already proven his talent in musicals like The Wiz and Dreamgirls. He also appeared in the comedy film Livin' Large in 1991. However, things weren't as smooth for him behind the scenes on Living Single, and his troubles didn't end when the show was over.
We're through. It's over. Don't want you. Bye-bye.
In an interview with Comedy Hype, Carson opened up about the difficulties he faced in his career. After leaving Living Single, there were rumors about him being difficult to work with. Some people in the industry believed that he didn't show up prepared for work. According to Carson, these rumors were completely false, but they had a huge impact on his career. Because of these false accusations, Carson struggled to find work for a long time. Casting directors didn't want to hire him, thinking he was a troublemaker. This situation was hard for him, both professionally and personally. Carson felt heartbroken, knowing that these lies were holding him back from doing what he loved. His reputation suffered, and that made it hard for him to get good acting roles. This interview with Carson also highlights a bigger issue in Hollywood: the unfair treatment of black actors. There is a tendency in the industry to label black actors as difficult or uncooperative without good reason. Many black actors have talked about these issues, which limit their opportunities and make it harder for them to succeed. Carson's story reminds us that these problems still exist, and it's something the industry needs to fix. Carson explained how being wrongly accused affected his personal well-being as well. It's not easy for any actor when people in the industry spread lies about them. In Hollywood, reputation is everything. If people think you're difficult to work with, even if it's not true, you can lose job offers. This is exactly what happened to Carson. What's even sadder is how hard Carson had to fight to rebuild his career after Living Single. He said that after the show, he wasn't getting roles that matched his skills or passion. He was often stuck in a tough position, with very few options for good acting roles. This blackballing was a harsh reality for him, just like it has been for many black actors who face similar struggles.
Ladies, I've got good news, and I couldn't wait till you got home to rub your noses in it.
Kim Fields is best known for playing Regine Hunter on the popular TV show Living Single. Regine was a flashy character, always trying to show off, but she had a special charm that made her stand out from the rest of the group. But did you know that Kim Fields, who played Regine, has a story of her own that's just as interesting? Kim Fields grew up in the entertainment world. Her mom, Chip Fields, was a singer, actress, and TV director. Kim started acting when she was very young. Before Living Single, she was already famous for playing Dorothy Tootie Ramsey on the show The Facts of Life, a popular sitcom in the 1980s. This role made Kim a star and launched her career in Hollywood.
All right, which one of you lucky people is going to zip me up?
After Living Single ended, Kim didn't disappear from the spotlight. She switched gears and started directing. Kim has worked on several Tyler Perry movies and even directed episodes of the TV show Let's Stay Together on BET. She also appeared on The Real Housewives of Atlanta in 2015, though she was only on the show for one season. In 2016, she competed on Dancing with the Stars and finished in 8th place. Most recently, she starred in the Netflix comedy series The Upshaws with Mike Epps and Wanda Sykes.
Stay upstairs. I gotta go.
Kim's journey is impressive, but her character, Regine's life, was also different from everyone else's in Living Single. And that difference is clear when you look at her on-screen love interest, Overton, played by John Henton. John Henton's path to fame was unusual. In 1991, he performed stand-up comedy and caught the attention of a talent scout from The Tonight Show, starring Johnny Carson. His performance on that show gave his career a big boost. Soon after, he landed the role of Overton on Living Single, the friendly handyman who was in love with Sinclair, played by Kim Coles. After Living Single, John starred on the TV show The Hewleys alongside comedian D.L. Hewley. But in 2000, his life took a scary turn. John was in a terrible car accident that broke both his legs, shattered one of his eye sockets, and knocked out 9 of his teeth. He needed plastic surgery to rebuild his face. Despite this, John didn't let the accident stop him. He went back to work on The Hewleys and continued acting. However, John decided to step away from television later on. His last TV appearances were in 2009 and 2014, but after that, he shifted his focus back to stand-up comedy. These days, John performs regularly at comedy clubs where he's happy making people laugh on stage rather than on the screen. And that is all for today. Until next time, thanks for watching.